Hello everyone, hope you have a nice day and welcome back to my channel. Today our topic is competitive advantages and strategic management. Modern conditions of the external environment put a number of tests on small and medium-sized enterprises. They also provide a number of opportunities, especially for those who have an appropriate strategy to benefit from them, which is a prerequisite for the acquisition of competitive advantages. Small and medium sized enterprises are looking for changes, experimenting with new business models, and do not blindly follow the imposed traditions of doing business are becoming increasingly important in a modern plan. The main objective of this article is to clarify the nature and particulars of the competitive advantages of small and medium sized enterprises, identify the main types of competitive advantages and competitive strategies also. The main research method used in the development are content analysis, method of analysis and synthesis, institutive and systematic approach also. Now, the concept of competitive advantages analyzes the economic of company activity, mainly focusing on its ability to generate a much greater return on investment capital and to link the company's strategy with the main financial markets over an extended period of time. The competitive advantages exist when the enterprise owns the develops a combination of specific characteristics that allow it to overtake its competitors and be more competitive. An effective competitive strategy must be in order to carry out these activities and to ensure that the company has an advantage compared to competitors. A competitive strategy is a summary of the vision that a firm perceives against its competitors. So, research and technological development are often viewed as the only way to get innovative products on the market and a way to make a company. So, this approach may result in lower growth for these economics operator who have limited investment and financial opportunities, as is usually the case for the majority of small and medium sized enterprise. A number of studies have come to the conclusion that small and medium sized enterprise create more significant innovations than large companies. At the heart of this is the entrepreneurial behavior of small and medium sized enterprises, which, in order to deliver value on the market, apply creative approach also and innovation in meeting the needs and solving the problems of consumers. They must therefore use creative and innovative techniques as a source of competitive advantage. Businesses should focus on the formulation and implementation of strategies that can benefits from a similar size. The most commonly quoted advantages in this regard and narrow product specializations, a clearer defined and geographically limited market segment. In addition, the simplicity of the SME organizational structure allows their entrepreneur and managers to carry out close daily contact with staff, effective communication, and high speed of strategic decision making and realization of changes. Now, competitive advantages of small and medium sized enterprises. An expression of an enterprise competitiveness is its adaptability, expressing the adequacy of its responses to the impact of the environment and complying the amendments of the dynamic of the environment. So, point out those competitive advantages are central to the process of shaping and developing the competitiveness of the enterprise. And also note that the emergence of the modern concept of competitive advantage is predicted on the development of specific and technical progress, globalization, and the internationalizations of the competitive relations also. Competitiveness is manifested through competitive advantages. It is considered that this relationship between these categories is casual and that competitiveness is reflected on that manifestation of the competitive advantage. So, competitiveness is a result reflecting the existence of competitive advantages without which its achievement is possible. So, in order to achieve a clear understanding of the mechanism for shaping competitiveness, disclosure of its content and internal links, it is necessary to explore the essence of competitive advantage. A number of definitions of the nature of the competitive advantage are given in the scientific literature. So, competitive advantage is the hallmark of the company and its product, which are a value for consumer. So points out that it is their evaluation served as a basis for the development of marketing strategies also. For its part, consider that the competitive advantage can be seen as a product own specific characteristics that add value to consumer and carry greater usefulness than competitors' product. So competitive advantages are extremely time consuming features of the entity or factors of the external environment that provide the enterprise with superiority over competitors in the particular market over the period considered. The competitive advantage is the characteristics or priorities owned by the product or brand which give them some superiority over the immediate closest competitors, and that a competitive advantage is an advantage over competitors earned on the basis of offering greater value or lower price or through more benefits justifying higher prices. So what we have said here, we can summarize that the competitive advantage is a specific positive quality of the entity or entity that it excels in differs in a positive way from its competitor. That in the context of the time perspective, competitive advantage can be considered as real and potential also. So it is important to point out that the acquisition and development of competitive advantage is defined as the biggest challenge faced by small and medium sized enterprises, that is SME, in the modern conditions of a super competitive and dynamically changing business environment. At the same time, the achievements of strategic management, such as theory and practice, are motivated by and intended primarily for the need of large enterprises also. Therefore, they are not directly applicable in smaller companies and do not fully correspond to their needs and specific characteristics. So, usually, small and medium sized enterprises do not have the opportunity to develop a advantage on the basis of economics of scale and scope, easy access to finance, carrying out costly research and development, etc. So, widely covered sources of competitive advantage, the uh, context of large enterprises. So, a winning strategy for small business is the development and introduction of new products for the market or improvements of existing ones, as the realization of such products is bound to the on one hand with more complete satisfactions of ever increasing consumer needs, and on the other hand achieving a competitive advantage. In practical terms, a company has a competitive advantage if it offers customers something that is different compared to other competitors offering, and this different is beneficial to customer also. Situations in which the company can do something that companies competing cannot, or owns something that the competitors do not have but they want, are examples of owing a competitive advantage. From a theoretical point of view, the company has a competitive advantage when it is able to create more economic value compared to its own competitors. Economic value is the difference between the subjective assessment of the customer for the benefits as it received from the use of the company's product or service, and the full cost, which includes all the cost of the company for the production and realizations of the product or service. Thus the size of the company's competitive advantage can be defined as the difference between the economic value that the company creates and the economic value that its competitors create. So, describe the competitive advantage of being temporary or sustainable. Temporary are those that only exist for a short period of time, while sustainable are those that the company manages to keeping for a long period. Now, it is evident that the first step in the process is to establish the possibilities of the pre-order, and the second step is to choose a strategy for the use of the opportunities already established. And the third is manage the results of their use. So, the price advantage means to offer customer not only a lower cost but also a higher value against the same price compared to competitors. Very often in today's conditions, the acquisitions and retentions of an advantage based on low cost can only be achieved by large companies, as it is required to achieve cost leadership on a global scale. Such a strategy and competitive advantage are not suitable for SME, as they do not have access to the necessary source of benefit such as cheaper raw materials, energy and labor, economics of scales, scope and experience, and technological innovations. Ultimately, there can be only one cost leader in an industry. The second type of competitive advantage is associated with differentiation of the company's proposal based on unique characteristics or higher efficiency. So this is situations where the company proposal satisfies user needs or solves consumer problems better than competitors offering do. So in this case, the opportunities for SME to gain competitive advantages are more and more diverse. The company offer can be differentiated by providing additional services, branding, imposing a high image of the company brand, convenient distribution, etc. The source of definitions are knowledge of products, markets and technologies that are not known to competitor, positive relations with stakeholders, and flexible and proactive management. It should be taken into account that knowledge is not free, and most even often they are the result of investments which make them difficult and costly to master. From some of the small and medium sized enterprises, the knowledge of the product and technology is the result of research and development activities, and market knowledge also from conducting market research and analysis. Further to the creation of positive relationship with stakeholder, trust is required. Trust reduces transaction cost and control cost related to the performance of contractual relationship with consumers, suppliers, investors, and employees. In turn, to advantage resulting from a flexible and proactive behavior are related to the company's ability to capture the change in user needs and problems, and these base to make quick decisions about what new products and services to offer. Flexibility, sensitivity, and speed are defined as the most common and affordable sources of competitive advantage for small and medium sized enterprises. So, this transformation and adoption of modern business to the new technological conditions, and it is becoming more and more applicable digital marketing as an effective way of development. It is highly needed for small and medium business. So digital marketing equates chances in online conditions, so where SMEs can successfully compete with large companies. So that's the end of the video, my friends. If you like my blogs, please subscribe my channel.